Back in August, MOZA launched two new flagship direct drive wheelbases, the R21 Ultra DD and the R25 Ultra True Torque DD, rated at 21 Nm and 25 Nm of torque. These bases marked a major step forward for MOZA, not just in raw power, but in how seriously the company is positioning itself within the high-end sim racing market. Since then, MOZA has continued expanding its ecosystem at a rapid pace. Wheels, pedals, shifters, handbrakes, and dashboards, each generation gaining small but meaningful improvements. You can feel the progression of the brand. Earlier, MOZA gear felt good for the price, but the Ultra series feels like MOZA now wants to challenge the established heavyweights directly. A big part of the leap is the R21 Ultra's redesigned flat-wire motor, which MOZA claims eliminates cogging entirely. Removing that sensation gives cleaner, smoother force feedback, and it's become one of the key performance battles now between modern direct drive manufacturers. Pricing remains one of the R21 Ultra's strongest competitive advantages. At a starting price of $699, you're getting torque numbers and performance capabilities that would normally require a significantly larger investment. Simagic's 18Nm Alpha Evo Pro also starts at $699 before tax and shipping, which makes MOZA's 21Nm offering feel intentionally disruptive in this category. Against this landscape, the R21 Ultra looks like a value play that borders on aggressive for sim racers who want a high-force direct drive wheelbase without venturing into that premium tier pricing. It's one of the most appealing options available today. The R21 Ultra arrives in a full aluminum alloy enclosure that immediately feels premium. The design language here is more rounded and refined than MOZA's previous models, giving it a subtle but welcome visual refresh. Cooling is still handled through a passive heatsink system, no internal fans, no extra noise, and fewer moving parts. Passive cooling has become one of MOZA's signature design choices, and I think it remains a smart one. A noticeable new addition is the pair of programmable RGB light bars on the top. These can respond to in-game telemetry, ABS pulsing, traction control intervention, race flags, rev indicators, and more. MOZA cites up to 16.7 million color variations. Now the rear of the base is plastic rather than metal, but it's densely built and houses all the ports, emergency stop, pedal input, shifter, and a display. MOZA also advertises a 21-bit magnetic encoder, which equates to roughly 2 million measurable steps. Now in practice, this gives you extremely fine steering resolution and ensures that even subtle steering corrections register accurately. Mounting the R21 Ultra on my ASR Pro rig was a little more involved, but only because I prefer to mount things from the front. Since I use the adjustable Pro deck, this meant purchasing the MOZA front mount, which is hard to find these days. Otherwise, it should be quick and easy for most users. The underside pattern aligns with most wheel decks out there, and all the mounting hardware is included in the box. The base also supports side mounting using optional MOZA brackets for those who prefer that setup. The compact footprint was a pleasant surprise here. It's barely larger than the R12 that I reviewed previously, and noticeably smaller than the original R21. This made it simple to slide beneath my monitor setup without compromising positioning or ergonomics too much. Overall, the R21 Ultra makes an immediate impression on me as a well-built and high-end device. But let's take it onto the track and see how this performs. Before driving, I updated everything through MOZA's Pithouse software. This is their hub for firmware updates, device management, lighting, and force feedback tuning. Pithouse has matured significantly over the last couple of years, and it exposes a huge array of tuning parameters. It's excellent for advanced users, but potentially maybe a little overwhelming for beginners. I'm still not a fan of the UI and layout personally, but it works. The built-in tooltips help, and though achieving your ideal FFB profile still involves some trial and error, that said, MOZA includes some great one-click presets for most major sims. There's solid foundations and still benefit though from some personal tweaks. In iRacing, my primary sim, the R21 Ultra, supports the 360Hz force feedback rate, and I found one of the default profiles actually really good. The base feels super sharp and quick with virtually no detectable latency. It can feel quite aggressive and lively, especially when running without additional damping. At zero filters, the wheel can oscillate more than expected though as well. Across every sim I tried, the R21 Ultra delivered strong, detailed feedback. There's far more torque here than most people will ever need, but having that overhead means the base maintains some range and avoids clipping even under heavy load. Now look, at the end of the day, I had a blast driving with this wheelbase. It hits way above its price point in my opinion, and has enough performance to compete with even some of the higher end bases out there. If you're already a fan of the MOZA ecosystem, this is the best of the brand. Even though technically the R25 is the top dog in the lineup now, based on my experience with this R21, I don't see why anyone should dish out the extra cash for it. This honestly feels like plenty. I recently reviewed the Simagic Alpha Evo Pro right before testing the MOZA R21 Ultra, giving me a direct back-to-back comparison between these two very similar wheelbases, chasing the same segment of the market. Now when it comes to pure steering feel, the Simagic still holds a slight edge for me. It has this refined, fluid smoothness that feels just a touch more polished. My guess is that the internal damping and filtering on the Simagic side is tuned more aggressively, which contributes to its softer, silkier character. Now the R21 Ultra by contrast feels a bit more texture or raw, and not in a negative way but in a way that presents more of the road surface and micro details, which I know some people really appreciate. That extra 3 Nm on the MOZA isn't something most racers are going to realistically feel, so torque alone I think here shouldn't be the deciding factor. But here's the bottom line, if you're already invested in the MOZA ecosystem and looking to upgrade, the R21 Ultra is an easy, highly compelling upgrade. If you're deciding purely based on steering feel, I'd lean slightly toward the Simagic Alpha Evo Pro, but the margin here is still really small. From a price to performance standpoint, the R21 Ultra is arguably the strongest value in this high torque, mid-range direct drive market right now. Now for the vast majority of sim racers, the R21 Ultra will be more than powerful enough, more than detailed enough, and absolutely satisfying out on the virtual track. It shows how far MOZA has come and how seriously they're gunning for the top of the segment. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this review or found it helpful, do me a favor and hit that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel for more sim racing hardware reviews and guides. If you're interested in picking up the MOZA R21 or other sim racing products, I have affiliate links below that help support the channel at no additional cost to you. Till the next one, stay safe and enjoy your racing.